And we are back with our final What You May Have Missed video, or maybe videos, from Season 2 of Helluva Boss.
It's been a sec since we did one of these.
Well, to be fair, we knew that the ending of Mastermind was gonna result in some crazy consequences, so we figured, why not make a little combo of the final two? Even if we end up making it a bit of a two-parter. You just won't have to wait as long for the finale.
Sounds like a good idea, but do you mind if we hop in to help?
There's a lot of new characters, and we want to be part of the fun too.
Well, there is quite a bit to cover, so why not? The more the merrier. Let's get into it.
Well, it's been 7 episodes since we last saw Stella, but Queen Bitch is back. He even says so on her compact.
And she's with Eldralphus again, who apparently has ice breath even when he's drinking hot liquids? Though it looks like that imp can still see everything happening. He's just a frozen witness now.
Poor little Dondo.
That's not his name.
Oh yeah, it's Beatty.
No, it's not.
I thought it was Peebo.
It's not Peebo! That's not even the same imp!
Whatever his name is. He's old news. What's hot now is Blitz having a Moxie stress toy? Does he have stress toys of all of his friends, or is it just because he wants to squeeze Moxie in a different way?
He definitely does. It's honestly adorable. Speaking of which, how cute is this little intern? They are played by Kadir Gutierrez. Although relatively unknown beforehand, they certainly made an impression here. Would love to hear more from them in the future.
I just love that their application just says, "Dear IMP, man, please, please, please hire us. Love me." With the little crying demon doodle. Looks like they used it as a coaster too.
Hey, wait a minute. What happened to all of Blitz's emergency buttons? Did he change them since we last saw them? Because this looks like the same one he pressed on Miss Mayberry back in Murder Family.
Even down to the gum still being there. Ugh, gross.
But that would mean he's calling this guy and his buddies deranged clients. Plus, there's only 2 buttons here.
Well, it makes sense to get rid of some of them.
Yeah, we know that ghosts don't exist in hell, so... Wait, was Blitz watching ghost fuckers this whole time and just hoping to fuck a ghost?
I don't know, but it also makes sense to get rid of the Stolas one given how things went up to this point.
Maybe we'll see more buttons in the future to get clarification.
You know what I'm really surprised to see, though? A succubus applying to work at IMP. With the imps. Aside from Luna, it seems like it was an imp-exclusive business. But maybe that's just because of how Blitz felt having to rise from the bottom. Maybe seeing a succubus want to be a part of their business is a sign that he's making a difference. Making a name for himself.
I'll say he's made a name for himself. Just check out their mugshots. We have Millie from our old bounty hunter days, and Luna's Instagram picture from Bee's party. And we're assuming Blitz and Moxie's are from when they were in prison.
Man, it may be a good thing they destroyed their computer. This thing is so old and grainy, you can barely make out how much the bets of this digital poker game are. Looks like it was some serious coin though. If we darken the image a little and start at the top left, going counterclockwise, we've got personal amounts of 30,860, 18,900, 15,270, 7,420, blaze it, and Luna had a sweet $19,220, and the current pot is $690. 10 times that's nice.
Also, gotta appreciate the homage to the classic dogs playing poker painting. Almost as much as I appreciate the Operation Broken message from the PC, the only thing better is the split-second ouch that pops on the screen as Millie axes it. Want to talk about a blink and you miss it moment? This little sight gag is only on screen for 6 frames.
Those kind of details are what we like here. You know what else we like? Repeat voice actors! And you know what that means? Hey, Monica! And I'll be true to my word. Since we're covering the season finale later and Monica doesn't appear to be in it, we'll go ahead and get the Monica counter going. I'm sure we'll see that number rise next season.
Noah has a pretty low count. The number of pics we've seen where Blitz's face isn't crossed out. I, for one, am really happy Luna managed to save the first job done photo before torching the drawer.
Next, we get some colorful graffiti and signs on the bathroom walls. Blitz sucked your mum here. A sign that says, do not flush non-pee-pee poo-poo in all caps. A sign that says, wash your hands, or don't, I don't care. Again, gross. And, of course, a horse doodle.
Well, Millie obviously ignored that first sign, because we see her flushing disguises from the Cherub episode, including Millie's cat disguise and Blitz's disguise from Lover's Lookout. Guess Blitz's cattail cover made it back? I'm surprised they still have all these.
Was Blitz trying to grab food for the group since they were going to be on the run? Or, knowing him, did he also have stuff in the fridge he didn't want them finding? Maybe we shouldn't ask.
What I will ask is with this and ghost fuckers, do we need a crashed van counter too?
I refuse.
We make it to the courthouse doors, and for the first time, we see the official sigils for each sin. But Lucifer's was cracked? Wonder how that happened.
As we walk in, Blitz says,
Is this about the orphans? Because they were already sick to begin with.
is this referring to the original IMP ad where we see him burning down an orphanage for elderly blind newborn dogs? Wait, what? How did we never mention that absurdity before now?
Pilot is only soft canon at best, so we never did a what you may have missed on it.
Oh. Hey, speaking of, when are we doing the Hazbin episode?
Moving on! We finally get to meet Satan, who is fittingly enough voiced by the wonderfully epic Patrick Page, who many would know as another ruler of the underworld, as the title role in the original Broadway cast of Hadestown as the hothead himself. He also played the role of Jacob Marley in the 2022 holiday film Spirited, which, if you haven't seen yet, you totally should this holiday season.
It really is a good one. But maybe save that kind of promo for later in the year, eh, Vocal?
Well, I never. Good afternoon.
Careful, Vocal. Your wrath is showing. And we still have to cover all the other sins. We finally get to see Belphegor, who is a bit of a sleepy sheepy. So adorable. As well as Leviathan, or Levy, as Mammon calls them. Judging by their reaction, they don't like it, or him, too much. And until we hear otherwise, we will keep it as them, if for no other reason other than the two heads, who even have their own reaction to things. The two heads seem to represent the ideas of benign and malevolent envy. Given the multiple heads, and the fact that there are other types of envy out there, maybe Leviathan's true demon form is a crazy hydra. I hope we can see all of the sin's true forms someday.
In the gallery, though they are never named in the show, we can actually point out some specific members of the Ars Goetia. A few we picked up on are Orobas, who appears as a black stallion, can foretell the future and discern the past and present, with 20 legions of demons under his control. Sitri, who reigns over 60 legions of demons. He causes men to love women and vice versa, and can make people bare themselves naked if desired. He is depicted with the face of a leopard and the wings of a griffin. And Ammon, who governs 40 infernal legions. He appears as a man with the raven's head who can breathe fire. He tells of all things past and future. He procures feuds and reconciles controversies between friends and foes. Maybe he can help Stolas and Via reconcile in the future. There are so many more we can pick out, but we'd be here forever if we tried to name them all. So if you want to find more for yourself, feel free to check the link in the description to a list of all the Ars Goetia demons. You might find out some interesting demon lore.
The next demon we're going to focus on is our newest little buddy Ogre, voiced by Jack Plotnick, who we last heard in the previous episode as the announcer for Ghostfuckers, the musical! His name is spelled with an I, which fits since he seems to be the yogi who has been assigned to help Satan, ironically enough, control his wrath.
It's funny that Crimson called Ozzy the weakest sin, yet it looks like he and B both have way more control over their respective sin than others than we've seen. To their full extent, at least. Aside from maybe Lucifer. But given the look they get to his throne, it makes sense that they'd be on his level too. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get back to the throne later.
Right. For now, we should be asking, did his robe actually change color only for this shot, or was it meant to be an interesting lighting choice?
A good question. A better one is, when will we see Visago again? Am I right? He's quickly become a fan favorite. He's voiced by Harvey Guillen, who's been in a range of films and shows like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Blue Beetle, What We Do in the Shadows, Harley Quinn, Human Resources, and more. It makes sense for him to interject as he does, given that plenty of literature refer to him as good-natured, with one even claiming him to be, quote, just and true in all his doings. It actually makes perfect sense he'd want to see the truth come out. With how much it seemed he actually cared for Stolas' well-being and involvement in this episode, I'd love to see him and Stolas interact in the future.
Maybe Stryker can interact with an acting coach since he can't remember his lines. He went with the old script written on the hand trick. It reads, Gremhor, Grimoire, with a couple question marks, Book, Gripper, Grimace, and Bomb-proof vet after trial. I guess he's taken his horse to the vet after all of this? Guess he figured he'd be over and done quick enough that he could safely make an appointment.
Probably the only good quality about Stryker is that he cares enough about bomb-proof to make sure he's looked after health-wise. Anyway, if we slow down the frame here as Mammon falls back, you can see he spills coins. Very clever.
Did y'all see that Wally Wackford and Veronica were hanging out together? Looks like they're in a club or a bar of some sort while the trial is taking place. Also, that cereal looks delicious.
Marshmallow cereal is my fave. Let's go look at the text exchange between Fizz and Ozzy while I go pour myself a bowl of
Marshmallow-based cereal redacted from video due to lack of sponsorship.
How long do you think this'll take?
Dunno. They usually don't last long. I might not be back for lunch, though. You can order something if you want. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, bitch! I'm getting a whole sushi boat for myself, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. See you on TV.
Love you, baby.
Oh my fucking Satan! Ozzy, do something! Oz!
Looks like Oz also changed the contact image for his little Ferraggy. But hey, his battery's still sitting at that sweet 69%. We got quite a few things flashing by on the TV at Stolas' place. Telenovelas getting a season 2. You think Alejandro will finally confess to Gabriella? Also, holy crap, those wacky charms are $99 a box? You still want a bowl, Carissa?
Kinda.
Well, the news recommends a different snack. As the scrolling text reads, breaking news! Grab lots of popcorn, cause on tonight's program, we get to watch this guy's head go choppy choppy. Stay tuned.
Hey, you guys ever notice that Blitz kind of follows Adam's list to get into heaven?
What do you mean?
Well, let's look at his list. 1. Act selfless.
No! Not them, Your Highness! It was me. It was all me, okay? I'm the rogue here, not them.
2. Don't steal. Well...
I didn't steal that thing. I mean, I tried. It was given to me, okay?
And 3. Stick it to the man.
All I was trying to do was rise above the stupid fucking place you all forced us into!
Well, I guess you're right.
Wait, could he have gone to heaven then? Would he have been a cherub?
That would have pissed off Cletus, Colin, and Keeney something fierce.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt as much as Millie's reaction here. After their little heart-to-heart in Ghostfuckers, she's his first real friend he didn't want to fuck. She refuses to not let him be seen in his final moments. Luna and Moxie turn away, but she meets his gaze so he's not alone in what would be his final moments.
Now we get the song, and it's nice to finally hear Blitz sing. And no, we aren't counting When I See Him. He did that talk sing in that number. But here, there's a full-on ballad-like duet moment between him and Stolas, and with Satan joining in later. This song was so much fun.
Agreed. But it appears that Mammon wasn't as entertained. We see the man-baby playing with his widow blocks. And since we all know he wants to get fucked...
Hey, you want that, Fizzy? To be fucked, Fizzy? I'm not gonna lie. I want that.
Of course, he'd be spelling out words like dong, balls, bumhole, and it appears he wanted to spell pussy, but he's unsure whether to end it with an E or a Y. As we see later on, he went with the E, and Stolas stops him from spelling his favorite word.
Probably a good thing. Moving on. During Stolas and Blitz's simultaneous soliloquy, we see golden feathers mirroring the ones in Moxie's bad trip in Season 1, Truth Seekers. Does this show symbolism with Blitz feeling he has pushed Stolas away for good and unable to fix what has been broken? Another thing some may not have noticed comes directly from Sam Happ on his Twitter. Quote, "I have no regrets, I have regrets," are on either side of the exact midpoint of the song. Kind of makes it a legit turning point in the song.
And what a turn it is. We see that not only was his sigil broken, but Lucifer has been gone for quite some time. Note the BRB 5 men sign with the little rubber duck and cobwebs. I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon, and since he's the only one that could really correct anyone, no one bats an eye when Satan says he's ruled even before Lucifer fell. Well, except Ozzy and B, who totally see through his horseshit. Viv even confirmed it when some people seemed confused about the timeline of events.
Speaking of timelines, can I say something?
Wait, are you gonna rant? I'll be right back. I need to go get my popcorn.
There's been a lot of talk online of, oh, he was busy at the hotel for the battle with Heaven, or, oh, this means Helluva Boss takes place after Hazbin Hotel, and we kind of want to just say, we're pretty sure they're simultaneous, but with fluid timelines. Like, Helluva Boss is a Hazbin spinoff, so they're in the same hell, but we don't necessarily need to have them happening one after another. I mean, for fuck's sake, we pointed out that Sir Pentious was on Blitz's calendar in Seeing Stars. If this show was after Hazbin, would he really have known about Pentious? And yes, that could have just been an Easter egg, but the bottom line is, there really shouldn't be such discourse over when it happens. It's been said before, and will probably be said again, that the only reason Lucy wasn't in this episode was because of the rights with Hazbin. Viv is open to some sort of crossover in the future, but until then, one side not showing up in the other property is most likely just a matter of rights. And for those who think, oh, Helluva must be after, let me ask you, why do the V's have a Fizzybot? They never call her that by name, simply calling her Kitty, but we all know she's a Fizzybot. We know the Fizzybots aren't that old, and we know that Lucy has been in his depressive state for quite some time. And again, if not for the rights issues, I wouldn't have been surprised if he wouldn't have sent Charlie there instead, because he didn't want to deal with it. I suppose on that one, I'll give you that she could have been busy with the hotel, but then there we go! Congruent timelines! Okay, sorry. Ranting over for now.
Okay, got my pop. Oh, son of a bitch, did you already finish?
We're on a mission, man. No time for your corn.
Either eat it or give it to the birds. We've got rings to talk about.
And the best part is, now we get to fuck around with you guys from time to time.
Fuck around with who now?
During his punishment, we see Stolas surrounded by 9 circles, all of them adorned with various demonic sigils. Could these represent the 9 circles of hell from Dante's Inferno? We did hear Katie mention them in the Hazbin pilot.
What in the 9 circles?
And it was always confusing that they mentioned the 9 circles, even though there are only 7 rings. Is it possible that both exist in the Helluverse? Maybe the circles are a little subsections of each ring. I mean, if you go by Dante's circles, we can actually see where Androlphus' castle would be. Everyone assumed that wherever ring he was in had to be ice. But if we look at the circles, there's one that is made of ice. Treachery. Yeah, that's very fitting.
After we leave the courthouse, we see everyone celebrating. But something interesting to spot is a sign saying, "We love Blitz." And it looks like they had an O, but they also crossed it out. Guess people are finally starting to notice him in a positive light, even down to how he wants his name to be.
That's all fine and good, but what the fuck does Blitz need shampoo for? We know it's his because it says IMP shampoo. Does he use it to wash his horns? Though I will say I like the little nod to the Eastern Screech Owls. Of their main calls, they have one that is used to attract mates or maintain contact with family members. He's already here with Blitz, so I like to think this was him trying to keep in contact with Octavia.
While waiting for Stolas, Blitz is scrolling through his phone and we see Inferno news! Victory for IMP! In a surprising turn of events, today's live execution became the stage for a theatrical revelation. As Prince Stolas' live confession revealed, IMP CEO Blitzo was being actively framed for illegal use of a Goetia's grimoire by the upper-class prince. Following Stolas' admission of guilt, the members of IMP were released unharmed from the courtroom, making them the first Hellborn to ever survive after being sentenced to death by a deadly sin. A historical... And it cuts off there, but it's probably just more propaganda puffery. An ad from Wally reading, "Hate ads? Deal with it! This is the world we live in!" And 99 and counting unread emails ranging from wanting to hire IMP to wanting IMP to hire them. There's even one from some other demon asking if only imps can hire there. I guess we're on to something earlier. And I guess our boy from the beginning was trying to get in on the ground floor. Hey, maybe they'll keep the job. You know, if they still want to work there after almost getting falsely captured and executed.
Wait, do Blitz and Luna share a one-bedroom apartment? It makes sense given the lack of money, but I guess it never really was emphasized before now. The only times we've seen them at home are when Blitz gets drunk and we always assumed he just passed out on the couch because he couldn't walk any further. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see them move into a bigger place next season.
But before we get to next season, we still gotta cover Sinsmas.
Yeah, you guys were right. There was a lot of stuff to cover in this one.
Yeah, but maybe the next one will be a bit easier. Either way, the folks at home won't have to wait too long to see it. We'll see you again real soon.